Ahoj, vítejte u mého videa. Welcome to my video. So it turns out that quite a few people, quite a few of you, are interested in learning how to use the possessive names or the possessive adjectives in context, in different cases. In the past, I introduced this topic and I showed how to make it, how to make forms such as Karlův most, Karlovo, náměstí, Karlova, univerzita. These special forms that we use to express ownership or relation. But I only showed you the nominative case. In this video, we're going to see how to use these forms in different cases. For instance, to je Karlův most. This is the nominative case. Karlův most. This is Charles Bridge. Karlův most. And if you want to say, let's meet on Charles Bridge, you would use the locative case. And that would be na Karlově mostě. Sejdeme se na Karlově mostě. Let's see more forms. Jdeme na to. Dobrý den, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. First, I'm going to show you a table with a masculine name. How to use a masculine name in a possessive form, so-called possessive adjective in Czech. Then we're going to build sentences using different cases. Then we're going to take a look at the feminine names or feminine possessive adjectives, use them in sentences, and at the end there are two exercises waiting for you. First, let's start with the name Karel. Charles IV, Karel IV, was an important king and an emperor. Thanks to him we have a university, a bridge, a spa town, etc. Many places are named after him. I'm going to display the chart here, full screen for a second. You're welcome to take a screenshot. And I'm going to move it here so you can see both the board and also the chart. Don't be scared. The table looks a bit complex, but it's pretty easy. On top, we have different names, each for a different gender. We have a singular form and plural form as well. For example, we have Karlův syn, Charles' son, because you also need an example of a masculine animate. Karlův most, which is masculine inanimate. Karlova univerzita, Charles' university, feminine. Karlovo náměstí, Charles' square, neuter. And now we have the plurals. As you can see, there are fewer forms, so it's pretty good. Karlovi synové, Charles' sons, Karlovy Vary, which is the name of the spa town. That would be masculine, inanimate, plural. Karlovy lázně, that's a place called Charles' spas. And an example of a plural neuter, Karlova jezera, Charles' lakes. I don't believe there is anything called like that, but it's just for reference. Let's start with Karlův most. We're going to leave the son and sons aside for now. They would not combine very well with these sentences. All the other refer to places. Most of them are official names. Karlův most. The use of the nominative case would be in a sentence, where is Charles Bridge? Kde je Karlův most? Kde je Karlův most? Now the genitive. I'm waiting near or by Charles Bridge. Čekám u Karlova mostu. U Karlova mostu. The dative case, I'll walk towards Charles Bridge. Půjdu směrem ke Karlovu mostu. Půjdu směrem ke Karlovu mostu. Here we actually vocalize that preposition because the following letter is also a K, so for a better pronunciation, ke Karlovu mostu. The accusative case for the masculine inanimate is the same as the nominative. So I can already see Charles Bridge. Už vidím Karlův most. Now the locative. Jsem na, we're going to use na. I am on Charles Bridge. Jsem na Karlově mostě. Jsem na Karlově mostě. You notice there is also you in parentheses. Locative has two forms many times. And the U ending is a little bit more archaic and it's mostly used with the preposition o. You would not really say jsem na Karlovu mostě, na Karlovu mostu. You're more likely to hear it with the preposition o. Mluvili o Karlovu mostu. But it's becoming very formal and archaic. And finally, the instrumental. It's right behind Charles Bridge. Je to hned za Karlovým mostem. If you look at the word sun, it's identical except for the accusative because you say Karlova. Vidím Karlova syna. Vidím Karlova syna. That changes. Now, Charles University, Karlova univerzita. Kde je Karlova univerzita? Genitive. Čekám u Karlovy univerzity. Dative. Půjdu směrem ke Karlově univerzitě. A in accusative už vidím Karlovu univerzitu. Locative. Jsem na Karlově univerzitě. And instrumental. Je to hned za Karlovou univerzitou. Now, Karlovo náměstí, Charles Square. Kde je Karlovo náměstí? Čekám u Karlova náměstí. Půjdu směrem ke Karlovu náměstí. Už vidím Karlovo náměstí, the same as the nominative case. Jsem na Karlově náměstí a je to hned za Karlovým náměstím. Now the plural, that one is easy because most forms are the same for all the genders within one case, except for the nominative and the accusative case. Karlovy Vary is a town on the west of the Czech Republic. In this case we would say kde jsou Karlovy Vary because we have to ask where are they. Čekám u Karlových Varů. Pojedu, better driving, pojedu směrem ke Karlovým Varům. Už vidím Karlovy Vary. Jsem v Karlových Varech a je to hned za Karlovými Vary. And these forms would be the same also for Karlovy Lázně or Karlova jezera if we had something neuter in plural. Karlovy synové is different for the accusative. Už vidím Karlovy syny. The accusative is different for neuter. So if we said už vidím Karlova jezera, Charles's lakes, everything else is the same. So when you take a look at this table, you see that it's kind of a mixture of endings typical for nouns and adjectives. That's what makes it a bit confusing. It's always better to learn it with a noun. Always learn it in context. Now let's see the feminine form. For a woman's name, I chose Libuše. Libuše was a well-known Czech princess, but she's known only from legends. We don't know if she really existed. There are stories about her and she's important for Czech history. Kněžna Libuše, Princess Libuše. There are some official names containing Libušin, but not as many as Karel. For example, there is Libušina ulice, Libuše street, Libušino údolí, somewhere in the Czech Republic, Libuše's valley, and I think there is Libuše's lake, Libušino jezero. All the other names in this table are not official. It's just to demonstrate the different forms. As you can see, the story is very similar. The masculine animate, such as Libušin syn, is different in the accusative singular, and the neuter in plural form, jezera, is different in the accusative case as well. And you can see the endings are also similar to a noun and an adjective. Let's start by Libušin most. If there was a bridge called Libušin most, you could ask, kde je Libušin most? Or čekám u Libušina mostu. Půjdu směrem k Libušinu mostu. Už vidím Libušin most. Jsem na Libušině mostě a je to hned za Libušiným mostem. Libušina ulice. Kde je Libušina ulice? Čekám u Libušiny ulice. Půjdu směrem k Libušině ulici. Už vidím Libušinu ulici. Jsem v Libušině ulici. Je to hned za Libušinou ulicí. Libušino údolí, valley. Kde je Libušino údolí? Čekám u Libušina údolí. Půjdu směrem k Libušinu údolí. Už vidím Libušino údolí. Jsem v Libušině údolí. Je to hned za Libušiným údolím. And the plural, as you can see, is the same. So, for example, if you wanted to say Libušina's sisters, give it to Libušina's sisters. Dej to Libušiným sestrám. If we added an adjective to this, you would see that the endings are the same. For example, here. Dej to Libušiným krásným sestrám. Zeptej se Libušiných krásných sester. Genitive case. Mluvili o Libušiných krásných sestrách. Or instrumental. Mluvili s Libušinými krásnými sestrami. Take an adjective and compare it with it. Always better in context. And remember that Libušina and Karlův actually share the same endings in the same cases. So you can learn these sentences with both forms in one. For example, jsem na Karlově mostě, jsem na Libušině mostě, or jdu ke Karlově univerzitě, jdu k Libušině univerzitě. And now it's time for 2 exercises to practice these forms. Our first exercise contains official names. These are names of places. Your task is very easy. You don't have to worry about the different cases of nouns, just these special possessive adjectives. Pause the video. Feel free to take a look at these tables. A jdeme na to. Číslo 1. Zastavil jsem se u Jiráskova mostu. U Jiráskova mostu. Číslo 2. Pojedeme do Františkových lázní. Pojedeme do Františkových lázní. Číslo 3. V Mánesově ulici se stala nehoda. V Mánesově ulici. Číslo 4. O víkendu byli na Máchově jezeře. Na Máchově jezeře. Číslo 5. Před Jindřichovým Hradcem jsou kolony. Před Jindřichovým Hradcem. Číslo 6. Byli jste někdy v Mnichově Hradišti. V Mnichově Hradišti. And now one more short exercise. It doesn't contain official names, but these forms that we use for ownership. Pause the video again. A číslo 1. Vařila jsem to podle maminčina receptu. Podle maminčina receptu. That's genitive. Číslo 2. Znáš bráchovi kamarády? Znáš bráchovi kamarády? Číslo 3. Bavili se o kamarádově přítelkyni. O kamarádově přítelkyni. A číslo 4. Mám problém s profesorčiným písmem. S profesorčiným písmem. This is all from me. I hope that you picked up some useful forms. For example, it's useful to remember that the locative singular for both names such as Karel or Libuše is the same for all the genders. Notice we would say na Karlově mostě, na Karlově univerzitě, na Karlově náměstí. And the same for the feminine. Na Libušině mostě, v Libušině ulici, v Libušině údolí. Tak a teď už je to všechno. Mějte se krásně a za týden na viděnou. Čau.